What's up, race fans? My name is Owen, and welcome back to the Ben Fender podcast. And in this one, I will be reviewing the U.S. Grand Prix from COTA, or Circuit of the Americas. Daniel Ricciardo is back in the car for this weekend. Don't remember if I said that last week. Um, and for it was a sprint weekend, so there was a sprint, obviously. So for the sprint, George Russell had a 3-place grid penalty for impeding. I think it was Leclerc, they said. Um, so he started outside the top 10. So Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc were on the front row. Verstappen takes the initial lead. Russell gets a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Piastri gets a black and white flag for track limits. And Max Verstappen ends up winning the sprint. And that is Verstappen's third sprint win this year, which gives him another record. So the top 8 who got points were Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Checo Perez, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, and George Russell. Also, in that, I did see Stroll retire. Don't really know why. But all in all, other than like the first maybe 4 or 5 laps, this sprint was boring as heck. It was so boring. Honestly, I'll probably give the sprint a 3 out of 10. Like, it was so boring. Let's not have another sprint at COTA. It was so brutal how boring it was. Now, getting on to the main race. So, Alonso, Stroll, Magnussen, and Hulkenberg all had pit lane starts. So, both the Aston Martins and both the Haas's started from the pits. Leclerc and Norris were on the front row. Norris takes the initial lead. On the first lap, Ocon gets some major damage to one of his side pods. He eventually had to retire from the race, so Ocon is out. Alonso got a black and white flag for track limits. Then a couple laps later, Oscar Piastri got a black and white flag for track limits. Or, no, he didn't. He actually retired because he was the one who, he and Ocon got into each other on the first lap. Ocon had the side pod damage, but Piastri had some floor damage or something like that. So Piastri is out of the race. After that, green flag pit stop start. So Hamilton took the lead, then Leclerc took the lead, then Norris took the lead back. Then Magnussen got a black and white flag for track limits. Then Verstappen takes the lead. Then the second round of green flag pit stop start. So Hamilton ends up taking the lead. Then Verstappen retakes the lead. Then Alonso ends up retiring from the race, so he is out. Don't really remember what happened to him, but he was out. So the top 10 were, Verstappen ended up winning. So the top 10 were Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Checo Perez, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Yuki Tsunoda. And Yuki ended up getting the fastest lap, so he got an extra point. So after the race, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc ended up getting disqualified since during inspection the FIA found something wrong with both of their cars, so they got disqualified, which means Norris goes up to second. Sainz moves up to third and onto the podium, and which means moving into the top 10 were Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. So congrats to Logan for getting his first points of the season. This was also Max's 50th career win in F1. So congrats to him. So the driver of the day was Lando Norris. Other than like the first 10 laps of this race, or other than up until like Max got the lead, this race wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. And then when Max took the lead, it was okay, he's winning it. So honestly, this weekend wasn't the best racing I've seen. I'll probably give this race a 5 out of 10. This whole weekend, probably a 4 out of 10. Like it was bad. Just the viewing experience for this. So with that being said, I don't believe anyone got track limits in the main race, but don't really know. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe, as well as go check out my other two channels, one being my main of Fanrantan, and the other one being a D&D channel called Drunkards and Dumbasses. Please go check those two out, and join me next weekend for the Mexico Grand Prix. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. Peace.